And as you can see, it's a very ritualistic form. Now, one thing that's taught in this form is that in the West we see it as a ritual or a ceremony, okay? But in the art of Japanese tea ceremony, the ceremony is a form, okay? And the form is not necessarily bad all the time. What the form allows you to do is allows you freedom from spontaneity. Okay, many people think spontaneity is freedom, but many times spontaneity can be quite imprisoning, in the sense that if you're always forced to be spontaneous, it becomes an imprisonment and a chore. Okay, whereas when you have a form, you don't have to actually think about, trying to create something absolutely new. But you can just rely back, and your mind can be at rest and at ease, and you can actually relax, because your body, you can follow the body memory that you practice into this form. And although jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts and those kind of things don't have forms per se like katas, they do have repetition of drills and repetition of moves through fighting that allow you to do moves on the fly immediately that are based in reality and that actually work, okay? And they're built into your muscle memory. And in those moves, like one black belt said, he said, jiu-jitsu for him is something he can rely on in this unchanging, unstable, chaotic world. One thing he can rely on is that when he trains with his partners, there's always a stability, okay? He can trust that world. It's not always chaotic and changing. Even though there's new techniques, things moving, the majority of it is stable because reality dictates that only certain moves can work in certain positions, okay? And in that sense, although one is not forced to create new, and in the sense that one is not forced to create new patterns all the time, in the set pattern of the tea ceremony, there's actually there's a freedom in the sense that, not ritualistic freedom, but there's a mental freedom. That you're not forced to perform. You're not forced to create something new, and you're able to rely on this form. It's a very interesting thing, isn't it? And we can see that in the same way in the ceremonies that God gave the people of Israel. Remember, these people were betrayed God. They were becoming pagan. They were losing all sense of decency, morality. God gives them these forms so that they understand, number one, the seriousness of the God that they're serving, and number two, that they understand there's freedom in obedience in God. When you obey God's commands, there's freedom there. You're not forced to try to always create something new, which of course never can be done, because all things that are quote new are old. All things that are new are old. They're already been thought of. They've already been done. So in the law of God, you can be free to act out your own created nature, which is what? To be in relation with God, and not to be stuck in the forms, but to be guided by the forms. And in the end, Christianity does that. It transcends the law, and the grace of God allows the law to be written on our hearts. And for us, that doesn't mean we throw away the law, or that it makes it obsolete, as Jesus said he come to complete the law. But it means that we're guided by God's law, and we obey God's law because of love, because we love God.